Greetings, I am Tumbleweed Tammy. This channel is an endeavor for me to improve my health. I need to increase my stamina and alter my metabolism. I am a morbidly obese lady and I've been sedentary for too long, and it is time for me to kick some butt. And mainly mine. Anyways, a bit about me. I am a nature-loving, tree-hugging, as I said, morbidly obese person, and I want to improve my life. Greetings. Today is Saturday. The 9th of November. Can you believe how fast it's going? It's almost time for a new year. Anyways, Reese and I are out doing our walk, and I thought I would go ahead and record for a few minutes. Just stating the obvious that, well, it's not obvious when you look at me, because I'm perky, I'm walking, I'm outside trying to soothe my soul. So, what am I talking about, right? Okay, so we had this damned election the other day, and it's so extremely frustrating and pathetic because all of these people that voted for are now finding out what tariffs mean to our economy. There's people bitching about not getting pay raises and holiday money. You ruined it for the rest of us. You get what you deserve. He blatantly said what he was going to do to our economy. Yeah, you guys interpreted it wrong. You thought it was a great thing. You know what? So, I know there's a lot of people, including me, that are mega frustrated, and we don't want to have a society where women have no rights, that blacks become slaves. Have you seen that on Twitter? They are sending texts via phones and on Twitter telling black people to come to a certain place and work on their plantations. To all you white supremacist MFers, I hope you get your just reward someday and you pay for it in hell. Christ wanted us to honor each other, to give to each other, help one another, not make everybody your slave. In the future, whites are supposed to become the minority because our population will be overtaken by non-whites. And I hate to say it, but I hope if that ever happens, that they will make all white people slaves, because no one should be a slave. And we as whites need to experience the pure hell we put colored and Latinas and Asians, anybody that's not like us, through in their lives. And granted, that was hundreds of years ago. But the fact that we're complacent about it and still don't want them to have equal rights is a sin. Self-centered, narcissistic SOB. I really want to curse my lungs off, but I'm not going to. I'll just use nice little acronyms. Feel better after saying all of that. Now let's move on to the real topic I'm wanting to talk about. Fascinatingly enough, I have been looking for positive measures to help myself to deal for the next 4 years with the coming global catastrophe that's going to be created with this presidency. As most people grasp, he will try to withdraw from NATO. He will tax all incoming items and destroy our economy and send us into a massive recession, maybe even a depression. Woohoo! So, what do we need to do if that happens? Well, I mentioned the other day that they want to allow fracking in all the forests. They want to allow destruction of the environment and the trees. They want to roll back EPA limitations. They want to fire the EPA director and close down so many of our protective agencies that keep our nation stable and allow us to continue to live. I think it's funny. They want money, but they don't realize they're killing everyone, including themselves. Self-centered, egotistical maniacs. Okay, back to what we can do. I rambled with some friends last night about a list I've been making, and about sustainability, about how each single person can do something to try to help our environment. And I'm just as bad as so many other people. We need to start giving back to nature. You know what? When you're out in the woods, protect the land. Don't litter. Don't tread on things that you're going to destroy. Most hikers, true hikers, have the leave no trace mentality, meaning that we don't need to leave shit laying around and destroy our environment. So how about we practice that principle? So back to saving nature. Be a tree hugger. Okay, let's go camping. I'm going to cook out while I'm camping because, I'm a big girl and I like to eat. So, do I take a stove with me and cook on it safely, preventing the flames from going, onto twigs and leaves in the forest? Or do I just, light a big old bonfire and just let it rip? Let all of the sparks fly everywhere and set the woods on fire. I'm going to be responsible about it. It's about leaving no trace. So what are some other sustainable things we can do to help the earth? You know what? Quit using so much plastic. How about recycling things? Say you're sitting by the river and you finish a soda pop. What do you do with the bottle? Why don't you take it home, drop it in the recycle bin, and help the earth? But no, there's so many people, oh my gosh, I've got this bottle, I don't know what to do with it. You just leave it lay there or throw it in the water. Grow up. Learn to take care of things. Because if you don't, you're making it horrible for those that come after us. The generations after us are going to suffer so much because of our irresponsibility. About reusing things. You ever thought about that? Every single thing for us shopaholics, there are a lot of us that are shopaholics, and I am on occasion. I won't deny it. What about when I buy stuff online from Amazon and they ship stuff in gigantic boxes? Okay, guess where that comes from? Trees. Beautiful trees. How much of it gets recycled? Guess what? Not much. Hey, back to the recycling. Okay, so I talked about, basic recycling. What about we buy stuff off the internet, or we go into a store and there are these nice packages that are in boxes, like say that microphone that you want for making videos. Well, guess what? It comes in a box with this beautiful little plastic cover so you can see it better. Woohoo! Guess what? That's plastic. And then back to the whole box part of it. Yeah, we just killed another tree, or part of a tree, unless it's a recycled box from former wood products. But how often does that happen? Not very often. The whole recycling. I mean, I live in a state that does recycling. Every 2 weeks, the trash comes and picks up recycling stuff in my gigantic trash can / recycle bin, which is great, But yeah, we're trying to do good there, but a lot of it doesn't get recycled. It's a scam. But some of it does, so at least we're trying to help a little bit. Our governments need to do a little bit better in choosing to truly recycle. Like all of the glass, all of the plastic, all of the paper products, everything should be recycled that we can. So I'm really glad to live in Massachusetts where we do have recycling. I moved here from West Virginia, which, had some bins you could take your stuff to if you were ecologically conscious and gave a damn about the environment, But you would have to drive, like where I lived, I'd have to drive about a half hour to get to one of them. So that goes into, oh my God, I'm using fuel to recycle. Does it ever end? Everything you do contributes to destruction of our earth using all of the fuels. All right, I'm going to stop for a second and go back to sustainability. So, recycling and reusing things is important. I'm as guilty as anyone, especially being a morbidly obese person. It's really hard to find clothes that fit properly, and it's really annoying. So I have to order them, from a plus size store, drive to a plus size store, which is not relatively close, so that I'm wasting gas on that. But regardless of that fact, there are really cool places like Starvation Army, aka Salvation Army, and Goodwill that end up getting some decent clothes that us big girls or boys outgrow or even didn't fit into to begin with. I mean, it's not all the time. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that will never fit or that you don't like, but it's always worth looking because it's recycling, it's reusing. If they aren't degraded and they're still pretty and clean, why not get them at a cheaper rate? It's way healthier for our environment. So when I hiked the other day, I went out in the woods at on part of the Mid-State Trail in Massachusetts up to Fisher Hill, and I had a really nice time. And I mentioned nurturing the earth and nurturing my soul by doing that. So that's my focus for the next 4 years, or however long this demon is in office. Anyways, I think it's about the best thing I can do with myself. You know, give myself the freedom to nurture the earth. And I'm going to encourage everybody else to do the same. Many people don't have the opportunity to garden outside because they're in a big city in a condo and there's no land to do anything on. And I feel sorry for people trapped in the cities that don't have access to fresh foods, because over the next couple of years we're going to hit a slump where it's going to be hard as heck to afford food. Maybe that'll be good for me. I'll lose a ton of weight. But at least I know how to garden, and I have a yard where I can garden. You know, that's a principle I was raised with. You know, my dad grew up during the Great Depression. He gardened. He knew how to garden. I grew up learning how to plant a garden and weed. Oh God, I hated that. Point I was trying to make, the Great Depression destroyed so many people's lives. So many people couldn't eat. You know, there was famine beyond belief. The insecurity was just atrocious. You know, this is pretty cool. I love being riled up because I have already walked a mile. Okay, head back the other way. So we're gonna have a little bit of sun for a while facing the camera. So it's not gonna be real great recording. Ah, there, I can pivot a little bit so it's not glaring right into the sun. So, but I think we all need to help each other. I think if you know how to garden, it would be a really positive thing to go out and teach other people how to garden. And if you have the space, plant extra. So friends, family, and just normal people that don't have access to affordable food can eat. Beautiful, beautiful. So I want to encourage everybody, help each other, respect each other, choose to help the environment. I don't know, just be a loving person, be giving. I really think we're going to face some really troubling years ahead. And yes, I'm very nervous about it. But I am going to do all that I can to help myself and others to survive. So I'm going to be done ranting, and I'm just going to walk. Thank you for listening to my ramble. I just need to gain some peace about this and recognize it's not the end of the world, and that I can't be complacent and allow the destruction of lives and of our earth and of our environment. You know, people deserve to live. You hear that? Somebody blowing some leaves around. It's so fun to do. My question to those nature lovers out there, like, as I said, I really love trees. I love the earth. I love flowers. I love food. Duh. Guess that's why I'm morbidly obese, right? Not really. I don't eat horribly. I just have crummy metabolism. But anyways, you know, like these shrubs and the trees, you know, they give us life. We need to give them the ability to continue living too. So excitedly enough, my new shoes, these Ultras, they're slowly breaking in. My feet are not hurting as much. My toes are not screaming. But I do have some Luca tape on them to prevent blisters, so that helps. But amazing new shoes. I'm really hoping they help with going up hills that are rocky, and I have instability to keep me from twisting my ankle and thudding to the ground. That's another thing. As an overweight hiker, there are a lot of things that are important to do to save yourself considerable pain. I don't know how many people have ever had Chub Rub, but it's pretty miserable. So I have fallen in love with briefs. I don't know what you would call them. They make spandex briefs, but the ones I found lately that are more cost effective, the ones I used to order, is Under Armour. So, you know, nice, stretchy, elastine polyester, lycra type substance that stretches, fits your tush, that I actually use in place of underwear. Because God knows I don't want tons of extra clothes on me. Really helps with Chub Rub. There's also another product called Body Glide that you can put, you know, on your thighs to help with Chub Rub. Or you can put it other places, you know, like between your arms, if you get a lot of rubbing burns that way. So those are exciting things to do. Also, another thing that helps is wearing moisture wicking clothes, which would be the nylon polyester type stuff. Yeah, I'm wearing cotton today, but it's 48 degrees, so I'm not too worried about it. We're at the very end of the walk, almost entering my road, so I'm going to log off and say ta-ta for now.